Hey everybody, it's Paul Thorn. I'm here for another edition of Tales and Ales. It's where I'm fortunate enough to get to sit and talk with some talented singer-songwriters and just find out a little bit about them. And today is no exception. I got the great Shawn Mullins. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, bud. How you doing?
I'm good, man. What's been going on?
Man, just been working. Songs, writing songs, staying out on the road. We're on this pretty cool boat right now doing this.
Tell these people what this is, what we're doing here.
This is the Cayamo cruise. It's the singer-songwriter music festival out on the water, put on by Six Man and Norwegian Cruise Lines, and this is the 12th year, and I've been lucky enough to be on all of them, and they just get better and better every year. Thanks to people like you being added years ago, it just keeps getting better. So,
well, I appreciate that. I want to talk about something that happened last night.
Okay.
Here on the boat, Shawn has his own variety show. It's like it's kind of like the Johnny Carson show or something like. It's an old school type of format, and it was awesome last night.
Thanks.
How do you put all that together?
Well, I'll start a couple of months beforehand with who I would want to be in the show. Ideally, I'll look at the lineup on who's going to be at the festival, and I go, "Ooh, got to get War and Treaty again. Got to get Paul. Got to get Chuck. And there'll be several cornerstones, if you will, that I need for that thing that I know are going to be either entertaining in some way or mind-blowing musically or whatever it is, funny. And so I'll start with that, and then I'll start reaching out to people, and at the same time I'll start kind of putting together the outline of it, just like writing anything else, I guess. It's kind of like writing songs, really.
Do you get mostly yeses from the people you ask?
Yeah, and the only no's we got, Kev Mo didn't get back to me, and that's okay. I mean, he's a busy guy. But usually, like, Wood Brothers wanted to do it, but they weren't on the boat yet.
Well, Kev Mo's going to hell.
I know.
Because he purposely saw your number. He said, when the phone rang, it said Shawn Mullins. And he said, I ain't picking it up.
He doesn't even know who it is.
Huh?
I don't think he even knows
who
who
I am. Does. That's why he didn't pick it up. But it's a great show, and I congratulate you on putting that together, because that was a big undertaking.
It's a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, I like that skit when you was trying to sing a serious song, and Tommy Manuel was going to back you up, and he started shredding over your ballad. That was funny.
Just shredding all over that ballad.
Yeah.
And the idea, of course, Chuck told me when I told him I wanted to do that. My friend Chuck Cannon, our mutual buddy, that we've both written many songs with. He goes, well, Shawn, just remember what P.T. Barnum said. And I'm like, yeah, what did he say? And he goes, well, no one ever got rich overestimating the intelligence of their audience.
I've been living by that for a long time.
Yeah,
I heard that one before.
And he said, and I'm like, no, come on, dude, we're talking about Cayamo. These people know the deal. He goes, okay, but if he starts shredding over your song and it makes them mad because they love you so much.
He said that?
Yeah, and he goes, it might be based on your expression only. If your expressions aren't exactly right and funny, like overdone funny, they won't get it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, they're gonna get it. It's Tommy Emmanuel.
I never thought about that, but there's probably a few people out there that say Tommy's being an asshole.
Right. So the idea was as soon as he did it. And it helped. Like I'm not a makeup guy, but last night I put eye makeup on because I needed to have the expressions, especially for something like that, where I can go, like that, and they're seeing me from the back.
Something else I found out I didn't know about you. You in the military, is that right?
I was in the Army Reserves for 8 years, active for 2. As soon as I got out of the Army active, I started doing this, and I was already doing it. I had a first sergeant at Fort Benning. When I'd have a show in Atlanta, for instance, or close by, he would drive me from the field. We were airborne infantry. He'd drive me from the field in a Humvee to post, and my wife at the time would pick me up and then drive me to the club in Atlanta. I'd play a gig. She'd get me back. None of this was supposed to happen. I wasn't even supposed to leave the base or the field at all. And I had this great first sergeant that kind of knew I wasn't going to be career military. He let me sing cadence all the time, and he kind of got it.
Really?
It was
So
really
he was,
interesting, and this is like the grunts of the Army too. You know?
He had sounded like he was a very encouraging person too.
He was a great man. Yeah,
that's awesome. The other thing I was thinking about, you may get tired of talking about it sometime, but there was a time, I don't remember the exact year, but this song came on the radio called Rockabye.
Mm-hmm.
And man, that song was it was like Achy Breaky Heart, man.
Yeah, it was big.
It was huge. Right prior to that happening, what was going on with you? And how did it change?
So I get out of the military in about 10 years of doing what we do when we're first starting out. Playing everywhere you can, learning to write, looking at all the people around you that you respect, and trying to get good, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So for about 10 years, and 8 albums, I put out 6 studio records and a couple of live albums, and the main reason for that was for income, just to hey, I'm going to be touring around playing these little coffee houses and tiny bars.
Yeah.
I need something to sell, and I started doing that very early on, 1990.
Yeah.
And so I would always put out a record, even if I was by myself, only moving 1,000 of them, it would get me through to that next one. And so, to answer your question, in 1998, my 8th record, Soul's Core, had this song Lullaby on it that I should have called Rockabye.
I said it wrong.
No, everyone thought that.
Yeah, okay.
It became an issue for Columbia Records. Okay. They were like, okay, on the posters it would say Lullaby / Rockabye / Everything's Gonna Be All Right. It's like drive it home, you know, because I didn't spell it out for him. I didn't know. I wasn't a pop singer. I'm a singer-songwriter that likes ambiguity, I guess, and a little mystery, and so that was what that was about. I guess me trying to be cool as a songwriter.
But your situation had to have changed, right? When your
big
situation changed. How did it change?
Well, what happened was I sent the CD into a local radio station, which was a modern rock station that played a lot of AAA songwriters at the time. They played a lot of the softer end of the easier listening end of stuff, like Sarah McLachlan, Indigo Girls, Tori Amos, a lot of women singers too. But they'd also play Red Hot Chili Peppers and occasionally Metallica. So it was kind of at that time. Well, I sent in a CD and they loved it, and they loved that song, and they started playing it. Leslie Fram, do you know Leslie?
No, I know. Oh yeah, yes I do. Yeah.
At CMT. Yeah. Well, she's at CMT now, but she was the program director at 99X in Atlanta, and she called me into the office and said, "Man, this song's a smash hit." Wow. And I said, "Yeah." You know, and of course, I've got 10 years of just playing coffee houses. I don't know nothing about radio.
That changed, though, didn't it?
She said, she actually said that, your life's about to change.
Wow, man, that's awesome.
She goes, I need a box of CDs.
Is that right?
And I'm like, okay. And she goes, I'm going to mail one to every programmer I know.
Man, that's awesome. That's like a dream come true for anybody doing this.
It was.
Man, that's awesome.
And she never asked for anything in return. You know, she's always been so supportive, and still to this day, we'll try to play a video of mine, you know, even though at this point it's funny to have a video on CMT, you know, like forget about it, right?
Yeah.
It's fun to have, but it ain't gonna really, you know.
Well, you don't even sell many CDs anymore either. That's done.
No.
All that's gone.
Yeah.
Hey, man, you got your guitar. Won't you play us a song?
Sure.
Of your choice.
Let's see here. It's Friday night and I'm back again with my old guitar and my trusty grin, and the best you don't come in here sign tattooed on this heart of mine, from a dirty brown shag carpet stage. I sing my song and I pace the cage, stuck up here in the twilight zone, staring out into the great unknown. There's an old Hank Williams figurine hanging by a guitar string from the pull chain of the Pabst Blue Ribbon sign, with a clock that stopped on 9:30. Yeah, the time ain't changed round here in years, y'all. It's the same sad stories, same old tears. There ain't nobody wants to be alone out here in the great unknown. You can find a stool there at the bar. It's designed to take you nowhere far. They got a mirror back behind the whiskey shelves, where we don't dare look back at ourselves. And just past the men's room down the hall, barely hanging there on a plaster wall, a faded sticker on the old payphone that says, "Welcome to the great unknown." Ooh. It's out beyond the yonder star. It's all up in there where you are. By some cosmic wind we're blown out into the great unknown. Yeah, hopes and dreams and ash and dust, it all seems to either rot or rust. Souls wrapped up in flesh and bone, heartbeats in the great unknown. It's Friday night and I'm back again.
Dang, that's awesome. That's great, man. Well, you seem like a real spiritual guy to me.
Yeah, I guess so.
And I got a question for you. It's the eternal question. What do you think happens to us when we pass?
Well, you know, I can't say that I'm sure. I have a lot of questions.
Yeah.
I think the searching and the questions of all of that, the hereafter, the what happens, the soul, the question of all that. But I have a feeling. I've always had a feeling. I've never been directed toward one particular thing, religiously speaking, and that's unfortunately because unlike you, instead of being raised in one church, we did a lot of different stuff. And my dad ran off with the preacher's wife at the Presbyterian church when I was about 2.
So you got your adulterous behavior from him.
I did, and then
I knew it was.
But then there was transcendental meditation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then there was the Mormons. We were Mormons for 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
And it was all kind of based on my dad's kind of weird idea of what spirituality was. So I was like, it was like playing musical chairs, but with churches. So I was very confused growing up.
Yeah.
But I always had a feeling that there's some supreme thing driving this whole thing, that we're all part of this one big organism that's hopefully for the good, you know. And so to answer your question, I hope that souls go into somebody else and it's a good thing, or they go out into space. I don't know what happens, dude.
I don't either.
I don't think there's a guy with a beard sitting in a throne or anything, but Maybe there is. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
That's
don't know.
where I live. That's blasphemy.
I know.
You know, like I live in the Bible Belt, and
Yeah.
they know.
Sure, I know.
They know it, and they believe that, you know, when you die, you will either ascend into heaven because you've been saved, or if you are not saved, you're going to burn in a fire and be tortured forever. It's that black and white.
I know it. I know it.
It's
I've been around a lot of folks like that, and
Yeah.
I get it. And I think the smaller communities around America, you'll see
Yeah.
more of that. It makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
They're staying together. It creates community too, and it creates like-minded thinking. It creates a lot of good.
Absolutely.
I don't think that it's a bad thing.
No.
For me, it's more of just like I didn't get to have that, and I see it and I admire it, and I also sometimes can judge it, but because I'm kind of always thinking, I'm always kind of I'm not set on anything necessarily. That was a problem in the military, by the way, as an Army officer. Yeah, absolutely. I was indecisive. That was one of the things. They would be like, you know, you're taking too long to make this decision.
Oh, really?
And so I'd like to. That gave me an idea about myself that I need to have processing time to think and figure out what it is. And I write songs like that. I spend a lot of time on lyrics.
Every single person I've asked this question that I just said has said had the exact same answer. I don't know. And it's so refreshing from what I grew up in, you know, because, you know, like when I go back home, you know, it's, I'll go to church and like you said, there's some good things about it because, you know, everybody, you get to see people that you don't get to see, or fellowship, you become a family, you do things together, you know, have picnics together, activities. That's the good part of it.
You're also making it about something that is bigger than y'all.
Exactly. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for watching one more time, Tails and L's, and say a little prayer for somebody tonight, and we'll see you next time. All right.